Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and a very good evening to all. Kita ada 3 orang. Azrin mungkin a bit late. I'm not sure about Aimuni Uzma, tapi kita slowly kita start our class today. Assalamualaikum. Today kita akan start dengan chapter 3. We will continue with chapter 3, which is a combination of some subtopics, including accounting for overhead, job costing, product costing, batch costing, process costing, and service costing. Dalam cost accounting ni, kita ada juga target costing and standard costing. But for your foundation, we only the syllabus kita akan cover job costing, product costing, batch costing, process costing, and service costing. The rest too, for those yang interested to explore more on target costing and standard costing, you can further your study in Bachelor of Accountancy. The intended learning outcome for today's class is at the end of the chapter 3, students should be able to learn the characteristic of job costing, the calculation of job costing. Saya pasang kipas ya. The calculation of job cost, calculation of job costing. The calculation of job costing, and the determination of quoted price atau quoted selling price atau characteristic of batch costing, calculation of cost per unit, characteristic of joint product costing, a portion of joint cost, treatment of byproduct and profit statement, characteristic of process costing, and lastly, the preparation of process account and treatment for normal loss, abnormal loss, and abnormal gain. Preparation on process account. For those young interested, for those who interested to be part of management accounting area, this is one of your future career if you choose to involve in management accounting. This is one of your future career after you complete your bachelor at the RB Highcom University. The position is cost accountant or senior cost accountant. This is a senior position at Emerson Process Management Asia Pacific Private Limited. The job responsibilities, some of them are responsible for the key cost accounting work, including product costing, standard cost updates, variance analysis, and month-end closing. Dekat situ dia ada stated dia punya job responsibilities ataupun duties is preparing the product costing, standard costing, variance analysis. These 3 duty ni I will brief you in this subject. A brief sahaja because this is a foundation subject. This is foundation level. Prepares monthly analysis in product group, cost accounting report, handles and monitor fixed asset spend, count and requisition, prepares monthly financial report for operation review, liaises with internal and external auditors, and assists in cycle count and yearly stock count. And I'm not sure in chapter 6 or chapter 7, if we have time, we will learn on how to value our stock. And dalam this position, you have to do stock take, prepare month-end closing, prepare financial report for operational review, for operation meeting, operational meeting, monthly operation meeting, quarterly or annual operation meeting, liaise with internal and external auditor, and others, as well as fixed asset. You are monitoring the fixed asset of the company. Ini kerja-kerja orang cost accountant or senior cost accountant. The job requirement is very crucial for you to review, because not only you need to have your degree, but you have other requirements as well. The requirements are a degree in accountancy, ACCA or equivalent, with at least 3 years of experience in operations, accounting, or financial analysis function. Excellent in analytical skills with a solid understanding of accounting policy and practice. Good interpersonal skills, meticulous and able to handle tight deadlines. Preferably with experience in Hyperion financial management. This one is the software used by the company, and Oracle software. And last, strong Microsoft Excel skills will be an advantage. I will in this subject I will try to share. I will try to share with you on the Microsoft Excel, and some of your assignment will be in Excel. In order for you to familiar with the Microsoft Excel, because accounting need Excel, costing need Excel. This is our first subtopic, which is on cost accounting system. The cost accounting system is not only using the accounting software, we also can use the Microsoft Excel in order for us to compute, to calculate, to prepare our report, either on financial report, operational report, and other report as well. Cost accounting is a system that gather information to determine the production cost per unit, the total production, the product cost, period cost, and all related costs to the company, for the company or for the operation. And when we have cost accounting system, a system created by the company in order for everybody in the company use all the information that they are required in order to complete their job or task. This cost accounting system help manager in setting the selling price so that profit can be earned. Because in the selling price there is a markup or a margin or a profit for certain product, for the product that we are offering to our customer. Second is to compute the cost of goods sold. This is related to income statement. Cost of goods sold is a cost that are directly related to the product. Costs are directly related to the product. For example, raw material, direct labor, direct expenses, and to compute the ending balance of the inventory, which is we will include it in the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Compute cost of goods sold in statement of profit or loss, SOPL, SOFP. Okay, and by using the cost accounting system, it can assign cost to product using one of two systems, which is job order costing and process order costing. Meaning that by using this cost accounting system, we can get the cost for each job, the cost for each process. This is why we need accounting system or cost accounting system via any software or using the Microsoft Excel. The simplest is by using the Microsoft Excel. The one is the simplest, or we can use the accounting software. In chapter 3, we are still using all the information in chapter 2. This is a continuous chapter from chapter 2. And we are taking all the information in chapter 2. Kita ambil semua maklumat in chapter 2 tu, we combine atau we bring together and in chapter 3. So you akan jumpa lagi direct materials, direct labor, direct expenses and indirect cost, which we call it kalau tak kita panggil indirect cost, we call it manufacturing overhead, production overhead or factory overhead. Either one, you can choose to use manufacturing overhead, production overhead or factory overhead depending on the question. The next subtopic, that one is the general information about this general information to be shared for this chapter. Now we go to the subtopic number 1 is costing for overhead or accounting for overhead. Overhead here are referring to the manufacturing overhead, are referring to the manufacturing overhead, production overhead and factory overhead. Sebagaimana yang kita tahu, ya. Kalau in chapter 2 kita ada graph ataupun diagram, graph ataupun kita punya framework. Yang this one kita ada framework kita, dia still is a continuous daripada this framework ataupun this diagram, this one. Okay, still continue with this one, tapi kita akan beralih kepada a more detail on job costing, process costing and other costings as well. Production cost, kita ada material cost, kita ada labor cost and kita ada expenses. Primary cost atau prime cost, we have direct material, direct labor and direct expenses. For secondary cost atau manufacturing overhead, factory overhead ataupun production overhead, kita ada indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. For primary cost ataupun prime cost ni, kita dah tahu dah, kita nak assign cost ni kepada setiap respective produk tu. Contohnya direct material, dekat company tu buat furniture, buat table and chair. Semestinya wood tu kita memang terus boleh charge dekat dia punya table tu because woods adalah direct material. Okay, kalau carpenter tu direct labor. So direct expenses kita boleh directly charge to that product. And kalau patent, kalau trademark tu semua kita boleh charge direct to the product. Tetapi for indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses, sometimes kita tak boleh nak charge direct to the product. Okay. Contoh kayu A, nyatuh. Kayu nyatuh ni kita buat untuk table 1. Kayu jati kita buat untuk table 2. So kita boleh directly tahu dan directly charge to that product tu. Tapi kalau electricity dekat kilang tu, water dekat kilang tu, janitor kat kilang tu, admin staff dekat kilang tu, macam mana you nak pecahkan and then you nak charge dekat produk tu sebagai cost satu produk. Okay, sebagai contoh, for example, you ada 10 unit of car. 10 unit of car. Okay, satu car tu you kira lah berapa besi, berapa steel, berapa tayar, berapa skru, berapa enjin yang you nak guna. Yang tu semuanya you boleh charge direct kepada satu unit enjin. Satu unit enjin RM10,000. Anda you charge dekat company tu RM10,000 sebagai cost dia. Tapi kalau assembler tu pekerja dekat situ. Pekerja yang assemble, mencantumkan semua komponen kereta itu menjadi kereta. Kalau ada 10 orang pekerja dan dia bekerja 9 jam sehari, 8 jam sehari, macam mana kos gaji dia tu nak charge dekat kereta tu. And then kita guna ada satu method yang very simple method yang that we are using, very simple, yang paling simple ialah accounting for overhead. Maksud semua overhead ni kita guna satu je method. Macam mana kita nak agihkan, macam mana kita nak pecahkan overhead tu dan kita nak charge ke respective product tu. So we are using accounting for overhead. Accounting to calculate the overhead to attribute ke to charge overhead yang kita nak charge for each product. Okay. First kita boleh guna predetermined overhead rate, POAR ataupun P overhead, OH2 overhead ya, predetermined overhead rate. POAR overhead absorption rate pun boleh, predetermined overhead absorption rate. Okay. What is predetermined overhead rate? POAR atau predetermined overhead absorption rate. A rate designed to apply expected overhead spending to production job according to the use of a specific input. Maksudnya satu rate-nya yang kita design, yang kita create untuk kita applykan dekat expected total overhead yang kita nak spend tu dekat production tu ataupun dekat production job tu according to the use of a specific input based on what product to need, what product to require to complete that product tu lah. Okay, so for example dia kata how much overhead do we expect to use. Kalau kita buat budget, kalau kita buat forecast, kalau kita buat estimation, so kita menggunakan contohnya, okay, last year kita punya total overhead kita 450,000. So how much overhead do we expect to use this year? Okay, so seorang manager kata 500,000, finance manager contohnya. And then what input cost to us to use those MOH, manufacturing overhead resources. So apa benda yang kita perlukan untuk dekat manufacturing overhead tu? Kita perlukan indirect labor, indirect material, machine use, machine macam-macam lagi, water, electricity, heat, light and others. Okay, and then dia kata macam nak pecahkan, let's apply overhead cost to jobs based on the use of the selected input. The tools that lets us do this is the predetermined overhead absorption rate. Ini dia punya adalah POAR atau POHR. Yang macam nak kira, jom. This is the illustration of POAR. Illustration pertama. Sekejap, sekarang. Share. Bisa. Share. Okay. Okay, the first illustration is box number height. Expect to expand 100K in manufacturing overhead. Okay, dia nak belanjakan sebanyak 100,000 untuk bisnes dia, untuk dia punya production, untuk manufacturing overhead. So manufacturing overhead is indirect labor, indirect material, indirect expenses. Ni bukan prime cost, ni bukan. Prime cost kita boleh charge directly to that product. The company plan box number height expect to expand 100K in manufacturing overhead of their company. They plan to use 20,000 direct labor hour and feel that labor is closely linked to overhead use. So dia guna satu sahaja rate, which is dia menggunakan direct labor hour untuk absorption rate dia tu. Maksud 100,000 tu dia nak pecahkan kepada setiap unit, setiap produk tu menggunakan direct labor hour sahaja. The rest tu dia ignore. So 100,000 you divide it by 20,000, 100,000 total manufacturing overhead. You divide it by 20,000 direct labor hour, and then POAR, POHR dia ialah 100,000 bahagi 220,000. And then you will get RM5 per direct labor. So kalau dia cakap kereta Proton memerlukan 200 jam untuk membuat. So overhead dia ialah 200 kali RM5. Kereta Persona memerlukan 150 jam untuk membuat kereta tu. So overhead dia ialah 150 kali times RM5. X50, X70. Tu semua overhead. So daripada 100,000 tu dia boleh pecah lah kepada Proton, kepada Persona, kepada Iris, kepada Saga, kepada X50 and X70. Dia pecahkan mana tu based on direct labor hours. And sometimes kita punya predetermined tu sometimes they under allocated or sometimes they over allocated, which means that kita kata ini adalah predetermined. So kalau kita determine dia tinggi, dia akan jadi over. Kalau kita predetermine tu rendah daripada actual atau rendah daripada the real actual lah, normally actual ataupun forecasted ataupun budgeted, dia akan jadi under allocated. So kita dah set kat situ kan. So actual cost will almost never equal to budgeted cost. Accordingly, an imbalance situation exists between the two overhead. So dia cakap kat sini based on budgeted ya, yang kita actual cost dengan budgeted tu jarang sangat balance, jarang sangat sama. So kenapa ada beza kat situ? Dia akan jadi sama ada you under allocate ataupun you over allocate dia punya resources tu. Ni over budget, under budget lah ni. Over budget, under budget. Okey, yang kedua pula dia kata Jimmy Stanley and Co produce specialized safety devices. They produce specialized safety devices for the year. Jimmy Stanley produced specialized safety devices for the year 2022. 2022 ya. Manufacturing overhead costs tak nampak kan. So for the year 2022, manufacturing overhead costs are expected to be 160K. Expected machine hour is 40K. The company assign overhead based on machine hour. So dekat soalan ni saya tukar sikit. Okay, Jimmy Stanley and Co produces specialized safety devices for the year 2022. Manufacturing overhead costs, actually manufacturing overhead tu dah cost dah. Manufacturing overhead are expected to be 160K. The company assign overhead based on machine hour as their base rate dia. Dia menggunakan base dia ialah machine hour. Dia guna satu ya. So dia kata kat sini a rate. Satu rate sahaja digunakan untuk you punya foundation lah. Lepas pada ni kita akan belajar banyak lagi rate-rate yang lain. Okay. So ini basic sahaja dulu. Dia guna satu sahaja rate. The company assign overhead based on machine hours. Expected machine usage is 40,000 hours. And one job, ini dah masuk job costing. one job number, job 2302 used 2K machine hour. So this will compute pre-POAR and POHR based on machine hour. Okay, so the jawapan 160K, you just divide it by 40K, and then you will get RM4 per machine hour. Okay, so untuk job number 302, dia hanya perlukan 2000 machine hour. So So 2000 hours you times by 4. So job number 302 dia punya manufacturing overhead dia total daripada 160,000 tu mungkin dia ada 350 job. So job number 302 tu kita allocate RM8,000 cost untuk manufacturing overhead dia. Kita agihkan untuk setiap job. This one dah termasuk dalam job costing. So 8,000 ni untuk job number 302. 8,000 out of 160K tu. Okay, ini dah termasuk job order costing. Ini kita nak cerita pasal under or over lah. Okay, dia kata kat sini estimated fixed production overhead. Estimated fixed production overheads. Stated overhead untuk kat sini. Estimated fixed production overhead ya. Sekejap. Estimated fixed production overhead stated at 16,200 regardless of regardless on any volume ataupun unit. Dia kata whatever happen, dia menggunakan benchmark 16,200. Tak kisahlah berapa kuantiti dia nak produce ataupun berapa kuantiti dia nak kilangkan, dia nak proses. So dekat sini dia punya benchmark ni lah 6,200 regardless of any volume or units. What happen if we produce more or less of the product and the production overhead are more or less than whatever that we planned earlier? So this one is a pre-plan. Kita tengok pre-plan tu over or under overhead absorb. So POAR they dah set is to POAR kita dah set is to at RM6 per unit. And then the question is asking what happens if the actual overhead what happen if the actual what happened if the actual overhead incurred was 16,200 and 16,200 and the number of unit produced was 2,800, 3,000, 3,400, 1,900. Okay, kita punya benchmark kita ialah fixed production overhead 16,200, dia tak akan berubah. Yang this one the yellow one ni dia tak akan berubah. The yellow one ni dia akan remain unchanged regardless of any volume or units. And then yang kita estimate tadi RM6 kali 2,800, RM6 kali 3,800, RM6 kali 3,400, RM6 kali 1,900 unit. And then you will get estimated overhead absorption cost unit time rate. You dapat RM6 you times 2,800, you will get 16.8K. RM6 you times by 3K, you will get 18K. And 6 you times by 3.4K and you will get 20.4. Last 6 times 1.9K, you got 11,400. And you boleh check lah, kalau unit tu 28, 3,000, 3,400, 1,900 over ataupun under based on kita punya estimated fixed production overhead. Kalau kita produce 2,800, dia akan jadi over 600. Kalau if we produce 6K, dia over 1,800. For 3.4K, dia over 4.2K. RM 4.2K, kalau 1900 dia is under. So untuk production ni, untuk project ni, you tak boleh manufacture maybe 2700 ke bawah. Kalau 2700 dia akan jadi under absorb. So 1900 ni terlalu rendah, menyebabkan dia under. So rugi you lah. Okay, sebab dia terkurang. So cost absorption rate ni dia boleh jadi tiga method kalau you nak guna. It depends on the company lah. You mungkin you hanya perlu pilih satu sahaja. Cost absorption means that the fixed overhead costs are absorbed into cost of the product. Three methods of doing this. Means that the fixed overhead costs are absorbed into the cost of the product. Three methods of doing this by using amount per unit, amount per direct labor hour, rate per direct machine hour. Amount per unit, amount per direct labor hour, direct machine hour. This one. So you boleh guna either one. There are three methods based on the question, which method they are using, which rate that they are using. Boyle's number height manufactures furniture and estimates its fixed production overhead cost next year will be 18,000. And that it will produce 3 tables including 4K direct labor hour and 100 machine hour. So ada 3 kat sini, dia info kat sini, 3,000 meja, 4,000 direct labor hour dan 8,000 machine hour. You can use 3 rate ni untuk you pecahkan ataupun untuk you agihkan manufacturing overhead you. Ataupun kat sini cakap production overhead ataupun factory overhead. So 18 dengan cara pertama, 18,000 kali 300 table, 3,000 table, and then you will get RM6 per table. Kalau 4,000 pula 18,000 you divide by 4K hours, you dapat RM 4.50 per labor hour. Kalau total overhead tu you are using base rate dia machine hour, so 18,000 you divide by 800 hour, you will get RM22.50 per machine hour. So ni adalah rate yang you boleh guna untuk you overhead absorption rate OAR you, untuk you charge, untuk you allocate you punya manufacturing overhead. Okay, done. So nanti kita akan jumpa lagi benda-benda ni semua accounting for overhead ni dalam soalan-soalan nanti. Now kita pergi kat job costing, job order costing, job order cost system. Okay, kita rehat 5 minit for toilet break, and then kita akan sambung lagi untuk job costing atau job order costing. Okay, kita rehat sekejap. So fix. Absorb into the cost of the product. One accounting for accounting amount per unit, amount per the level. transaction. Okay. Bond manufacture. $15,000. $2,000. Direct labor hour. Okay, and we can cash flow. Yes. This one. Job costing. Job costing. Okay, jom. Boleh kita continue? Boleh, sir. Okay, now we continue the job costing, job order costing, job order cost system. They actually sama sahaja. benda yang sama. Based on you punya word yang that you use with the job costing, job order costing, ataupun job order cost system. So this benda yang sama. Okay, this is the diagram to compare between job costing dengan process costing. Kalau job costing, dia based on each job. Kalau process costing, dia based on each process. That's the difference between job costing and process costing. Okay, this is because sekarang ni topik job costing, so kita fokus on job costing dulu, and after this kita akan continue with process costing. This is the definition of job costing, or cost per job. So dia benda sama, lebih kurang dia punya poin-poin dalam ni. So jom kita baca one by one. So the more or less the same. Job costing refers to accounting system. Accounting system yang kita belajar yang tadi tu. This one, accounting system. Refers to accounting system that determine the cost of individual jobs order. A cost accounting system where costs are assigned to each job. Objective is to compute the cost per job. A job costing order system accumulate costs for each unique job. Each job or batch has its own distinguishing or unique characteristic. Measures cost for each job completed and not for set time period. So they're based on job completed and not. Okay. And not for set time period. Some companies manufacture batches of unique product or provide specialized service. Ini batch costing. So dua ni adalah batch costing. Each job ataupun ni batch. Dia termasuk tadi. Batch costing, batches of unit. Okay, dia ada relate dengan batch costing. Some companies manufacture batches of unique product and provide specialized service. Job costing is where a unique item is being made and cost can be specifically traced into that item. The job could be large, such as building a house or a ship, or small, such as constructing a set of shelving for a room. Seketik-ketik contohnya satu bilik ke a small room ataupun sebesar satu bangunan menara BNB 118. Okay, same sama juga yang tadi tu. Yang this one we are still using chapter 2. This is a continuous from chapter 2. Kita still guna, dan job costing ni dia tak akan lari dia from material cost, labor cost and other costs, including direct, indirect material, direct, indirect labor and direct, indirect expenses. So benda yang sama. And then we are still using POAR, POHR ataupun OAR. Okay, dia OAR ni, POAR ni ialah predetermined, OAR adalah biasa punya lah. Okay, general features of job order costing. Production dia many different job, usually small batches of either single unit or batches of unit. It must be unique and high cost. Production requirement dia jobs built based on customer order, based on demand ataupun based on requirement. Cost accumulated by the job, cost measured for individual, and the variance is between actual and estimated cost. This one kita nak check kalau variance nanti kita akan buat variance between actual and estimated cost. Example untuk for those for those company that are using job order costing is Boeing, aircraft manufacturing, and Walt Disney Studio for movies production. This is the advantage and disadvantage when we are using job order costing. Dia punya kerja tu is very tedious because you want to split, you want to charge based on, for example, if Boeing, if a Walt Disney Studio, is Walt Disney Studio ni, they produce 20 films in a year. Macam mana you nak pecahkan manufacturing overhead tu, atau macam mana you nak pecahkan cost tu untuk for each film, movie. So, bila you key in dalam sistem tu, okay, you tengok invoice ni. This invoice, okay, dekat movie mana? You pun detailkan juga. Okay, ni movie ni, cost ni movie ni. Kalau dia sharing cost, you kena pecahkan, you kena split siap untuk movie apa. And then dia buat very detail, one by one, so that allocation cost tu ataupun dia nak segregate cost, dia nak allocate cost tu very dengan cara most accurate one. Okay, bila accurate, it requires a significant amount of data entry. You key in banyak benda sebab dia based on project. Kalau ada 20 project, you akan ada code 20 code dalam you punya accounting software untuk setiap project. And it's very expensive due to more clerical work. You kena ada accounting software yang sangat-sangat bersesuaian dengan apa requirement yang you nak tu. And then bila you nak key in banyak, staff you bertambah. Konsep dekat situ, banyak benda akan bertambah. Lepas you tu. So it expensive lah. It expensive. Require clerical work yang banyak untuk you key in. Bila you key in banyak-banyak ni, sometimes clerical processes ni, there is a chance of error. We are human being. So memang ada chance untuk buat error bila kita key in. So that one is disadvantage sebab kita tak guna teknologi untuk kita key in tu. Okay. Kalau untuk itu the disadvantage untuk job order costing. The advantage dia bila you key in satu-satu tu, dia akan jadi more precise on assignment of cost, untuk assign cost to each project rather than process costing. So itu advantage dia. So dia tak boleh compare dengan ni lah. So kita tak ada comparison kan. Okay. It provides more useful information for determining the profitability of a particular project and for estimating cost when prepare bids on future job. Kalau you nak prepare tender, you dah ada data. Okay, project A, berapa cost dulu? Sekarang ni cost project A tu sama dengan apa yang kita nak apply ni, apa yang kita nak masuk tender ni. So kita guna je the actual cost untuk project A tu, kita guna data tu untuk kita prepare tender baru. So kita ada actual. Information is readily available because memang kita dah key ada dalam sistem kita. Information is readily available and help in control the efficiency of the material ke of the staff ke, semua efficiency tu kita boleh control. Sebab kita dah ada data. Production planning and estimating the cost of similar job. Okay, easier for us for production for planning of the production punya ni, for production plan and estimate the cost tu untuk similar job yang sama, and a spoilage or defective works can be easily identified. Okay, very detailed. So biasanya job order costing sangat tedious. Tapi bagus. Depends on company lah, which cost system yang you nak guna. Kalau you nak guna yang very complicated tapi and product dia tu result dia tu sangat bagus, atau you nak guna yang simple tapi result dia kurang okey. This is the sample job order costing diagram dia. So kalau direct material, you simple, senang, you nak charge. Job 100, job 101, job 102. Direct material, labor. Kalau overhead, susah sikit. So you guna method. Ini sebelah ni sama jugalah. Ini diagram dia macam ni juga. So benda ni lebih kurang sahaja. This one pun contoh diagram. Macam mana you nak charge direct material, direct labor dengan manufacturing overhead. This one pun sama. Okay, dekat sini dia kata manufacturing overhead dia ialah 12,000. Macam mana you nak agihkan? Okay. So bila you kira-kira you guna MOH, manufacturing overhead ya, you apply manufacturing overhead equal to each product. You guna sama, equal ya. So 12,000 tu you pecah, 4,000 kepada job 1, 4,000 kepada job 2 and 4K untuk job 3. And this is very simple. Ada juga you kira-kira you apply MOH ni to each job based on MOH cost by the job. Maksudnya kalau job 1 tu sikit je diguna overhead, you charge dia 2,000. Job B banyak sikit, you guna MOH, manufacturing overhead lah. MOH tu, you charge dia 4K. And then job 3 ni require more manufacturing overhead and then you charge 6K. Ini sample je, ini contoh je. Cara you nak charge nanti, kita akan tengok. Okay, kalau you buat job, you akan ada job sheet. Okay, kalau saya buka accounting firm, kita ada time sheet. Kita nak tengok staff kita satu company, berapa masa yang diambil untuk dia completekan, untuk dia settlekan company itu. So kita akan kira lah. Memang kalau macam saya accounting firm, saya akan gunakan job costing system. Kita akan kira based on client, based on respective client. Client adalah unik, different client akan ada different document, different transaction dan saya menggunakan this one. So saya punya direct labor ada cost, direct material kurang, manufacturing overhead pun kurang. So this is job cost sheet. Dalam job cost sheet ni kita ada job number, quantity, item, date requested, for date completed. Saya ada idea saya nak buat saya punya test dengan final exam ni dalam bentuk macam ni. Tapi saya fikir dulu macam mana saya nak buat soalan dia. So dekat sini ada date, material yang kita guna untuk job ni, direct material, direct labor yang kita nak guna, direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, manufacturing overhead. You nak masuk admin cost pun boleh, tapi normally yang this one is product cost. Okay, sebelah ni pun sama juga, tapi dia lain sikit je. Dia ada number, quantity, ada amount. Tapi in total overall sama. Kita ada direct material berapa amount, direct labor berapa amount, manufacturing overhead berapa amount, total cost dia berapa amount, and then berapa cost per unit dia, total cost divided by quantity yang kita order. This is another sample, material, direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead. And then kita akan dapat direct material cost 15.9K, direct labor 2K, manufacturing MOH 1K, total quantity 18.9K, quantity dia produce 14 tablets with accounting e-learning software, and unit per unit cost is 1350. Kita charge kepada klien kita selepas markup ataupun margin, profit margin. Ini pun sama. Okay, this is the illustration for job order costing. Yeah. Najwa Cakes and Bakery received one job from the RB Hakam University to prepare one giant cake for Independent Day event. Independent Day event 2022. Okay. Receive 2021. She named the job with job number 666. The job required 20 kilos of material in store, which cost RM15 ringgit per kg, and also a special ingredient that had to be bought at a cost of RM150. Okay, that had to be bought. The job required 20 kgs of material in stores, which cost around 15 ringgit per kg, and also a special ingredient that had to be bought at a cost of around 150 ringgit. Ini info yang kita ada. She hired 3 staff for this job, consists of 2 normal workers and 1 supervisor. 30 hours labor was spent on the job where the employees were paid at RM9 ringgit per hour. So 30 jam ya. Maksudnya kat sini, she hired 3 staff. 3 staff ni 30 jam bekerja. In addition, 3 hours was spent by a supervisor who is paid RM15 ringgit per hour. So 30 jam untuk 3 staff tambah dengan 3 jam. Supervisor dia kerja untuk RM15 ringgit. Okay, normal worker RM9, supervisor RM15. Manufacturing overhead more are absorbed at the rate of RM4 ringgit per labor hour. So diguna satu rate saja, POAR ataupun OAR, RM4 ringgit per labor hour untuk dipecahkan, untuk diagihkan manufacturing overhead tu. Selling and administration overhead or expenses of 25% is added to production cost to arrive at quoted price. 20% profit markup is charged on the total cost after adding the selling and administration overhead. So hopefully you boleh lah faham dia punya. Okay. So cara dikira ialah raw material 20 kg you times by 15 ringgit. So you dapat 300 ringgit, and special component ataupun ingredient 150 ringgit. This one is direct material lah, ada 2. Labor pula 30 jam kali 9 ringgit for normal worker. For supervisor, 3 hours you times by 15 ringgit and then you dapat 45 ringgit. So total 2 ni 765 ringgit. 765 ringgit. Lepas tu dia kata overhead moh ni, manufacturing overhead ni, dia charge 4 ringgit kali dengan 33 jam. 30 normal worker, 3 jam supervisor. You dapat 132 ringgit. So product cost dekat sini, material, labor dengan overhead, you dapat 897. Lepas tu dia kata 25% markup. So you mark up, you 25%, you times by 897, and then you get 224.25. Lepas tu you dapat total production cost 1121.25. And then dia kata dia buat profit markup. Dia markup 20%. So quoted selling price dia, quoted selling price dia adalah 1345.50. So dia akan invoice kan di RB Hakam University pada harga 1345.50. So ini full soalan lah untuk job costing. Lepas tu dia ada job nombor 2 pula, job nombor 3, job nombor 4 yang dia perlukan, yang mungkin soalan saya buat nanti, ada 2 job. So you pecahkan untuk job 1 dengan job 2, which is manufacturing overhead ni saya bagi 1 dan saya bagi percentage you nak asingkan untuk job 1 dengan job 2. Okay. Another one, ini sample untuk format company, for example, accounting firm. Zikri accounting firm pays Alif ni staff dia. Zikri accounting firm pays Arif Fikri. Bayar seorang staff ni total 1 tahun dia punya labor cost dia adalah 104,400 per year. Dan staff lain selain daripada Arif Fikri ni dia bayar 500,000. Arif Fikri ni bekerja untuk Zikri accounting firm ni selama 1,800 jam setahun. So berapa kos untuk Alif Sukri ni 1 jam? So 104,400 you bahagi dengan 1,800. So company ni bayar Arif Fikri ni 1 jam RM58. Mungkin Arif Fikri ni adalah manager dekat company tu. And then satu klien ni, contohnya dari sini dia tulis klien 507. Arif perlukan masa 12 jam untuk completekan, untuk prepare klien punya statement. So harga dia satu hari 1 jam RM58, dia perlukan masa 12 jam. So untuk klien tu direct labor cost dia bernilai RM696. Okay, tambahan soalan dekat sini. Ini soalan 1, soalan 2. Okay, in total, Zikri estimation ataupun budget, Zikri estimate ataupun budgeted untuk direct labor ni sebanyak 8,000 jam setahun. 8,000 jam, 1,800 untuk klien, 12 jam untuk klien 507 dan 1,800 jam untuk Zikri Arif Fikri seorang sahaja. So Zikri, company tu estimate total indirect labor ni cost adalah RM240,000. Ni HR staff, part-timer staff, intern staff, janitor staff dan staff-staff lain tu sebanyak 240,000. Yang tadi tu 500,000 tu untuk direct staff, ini indirect staff. Indirect staff. So in total dia ada RM740,000. RM740,000 ya. Itu tak termasuk dengan Arif Fikri tadi. 104,400. So Arif Fikri 104,400, remaining staff 500,000 and then indirect 240,000. So total dia jadi 84,400. Okay, what is decreased indirect cost allocation? Dia based on indirect labor cost. Dia kata 8,000 bagi 240. So 240K you divide by 8K, you dapat RM30 per indirect labor hour. How much indirect cost will be allocated to client 507? RM30 kali 12 jam. How much the total cost for client 507? You mark up 25%. So 696 you tambah 360 dapat 1056 and then selling price dia you mark up 25% and then you will get 1320. So saya akan touch kepada klien saya, klien 507 tu sebanyak RM1,320. So saya akan issue invoice berharga bernilai 1320 dekat klien 507. And then what is the total labor cost for the year? For Zikri accounting firm, gaji Arif Fikri, remaining staff dengan indirect labor, and then you will get 844,400. Okay. This one for batch costing, so benda yang sama tapi dia by batch. Okay, simple by batch. And this one dia kata satu batch. Okay, illustration 2 ni batch costing for 250 unit batch. So dia produce produk dia by batch. Kenapa? Sebab nak jimat. Ini soalan dia kata labor ada 4 department, overhead pun ada 4 department, and then dia kata kat sini total material Q3107, special hire equipment 525, labor cost ada 4 department, MOH ada 4 department, selling and administration overhead, profit markup and total production. Sama macam tadi, you buat benda yang sama. Total material cost 3107, special hire equipment 525, direct labor RM 128 hours, you time by 2.25 and then you will get 288. To 452, you times by 2.50, you get 1130, 202.5 and 315,000. So this one total labor cost, and then you dapat MOH, manufacturing overhead 67840, 591560, 4957875, and then you dapat overhead total dia 7964. You tambah semua factory overhead dia, product cost And for factory overhead 13531. So total semua sekarang, oh ni bukan factory cost ni, total semua 135,135,31.50. And then you mark up 20%, you dapat total, and then you charge the profit. You mark up 25%. Total dia is 20,297.25. You can divide it by 250, and you akan dapat RM81.19. You nak charge satu produk you kepada klien you. So dia more or less sama, tapi proses kat sini dia cerita lah, blanking shop, machining shop. Itu proses pertama, blanking department, then machining department, then welding department, then assembly department. Dia sama lah. So yang ni by department, by proses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sama sahaja. And then bila kita cerita pasal product costing ni, process costing, kita nak buat ni, kita nak order barang, mesti kita guna EBQ, economy, yang paling economic dengan batch quantity kita. So this one we are using a formula kat bawah ni. It can be any formula, sebab ni formula ni kita yang create. It can be any formula as long as we understand macam mana dia nak kira. So this illustration dia kata, ini saya just ambil from internet. Total number of unit to be produced in a year is 10K. Unit setup cost per batch is 2K, 200. Carrying cost per unit of production 10 cent per unit. So you just masuk dia dalam tu, and then you will get 6324. So sekali you order, you can order 6,324 unit in order for you to jimat untuk jaga quality of the material. Okay, ni pun sama, tapi they are using 2 times D times CO divided by CH square root. So nanti you slowly you dekat rumah, you baca semula, and then you will get 400 unit. Jadi product costing. Ini batch costing. Ini tadi. Oh, bukan ini batch costing, bukan process costing. Ini batch. Oh, ini batch X250 ni. So sekarang ni soalan dia bercampur dah. Dalam ni ada process dan ada batch. So this one soalan dia it can be by process juga. So ada blanking shop, machining shop, welding shop and assembly shop. Boleh juga untuk process costing punya soalan. Process costing very simple macam tadi, macam contoh kat sini ada proses 1, proses 2, proses 3. Harvest, cleaning, slicing, frying and packaging untuk potato chip production. So sama je pengiraan dia, cuma ditukar kat sini by process. Okay, ini dah ada differences between process costing and job costing. Job costing cost per job, process costing cost per process. Who use this method? Company that manufacture batches of unique. Companies that produce identical unit through a series of processes. Industry, accounting firm, music producer, building contractor, healthcare provider. Whereas for process costing, large producers of similar job. Dia sama je lah. Okay. Normal gain, normal loss, abnormal gain, abnormal loss ni saya rasa yang ni, jom kita tengok dekat sini. Normal loss ni, contohnya, kedai kek, contohnya you beli setiap bulan, you beli 5,000 kilo tepung. Biasanya normalnya 10% tu memang waste, hangus. Salah buat kek lah, tepung jatuh lah, tepung masuk angin lah. Okay. So normal, biasanya yang you lost mesti 10%. Kalau 5,000 kg, 10% dia 500. 500 tu memang burn. Itu normal loss. Abnormal loss dah lah 500 tu. Dah loss dah, tiba-tiba pula tepung you masuk air tiba-tiba. Dan tepung tu rosak. Abnormal loss pula berlaku. Ada additional loss. Daripada normal loss tu ada additional loss pula dah. So dia jadi abnormal loss. Abnormal gain ni, normal gain kita gain lah. Biasanya kita normal yang kita untung tu. Abnormal gain ni bila yang waste tu tiba-tiba ada orang nak beli pula. dengan harga borong. Contohnya 500 kg tadi, normal loss dia 500 kg tepung tu, tepung-tepung yang rosak tu pun ada orang nak juga. Mungkin nak bagi makan ayam, tepung kan, tepung. Mungkin ada kegunaan-kegunaan lain bagi makan ikan dia ke. So dia beli. So kita dapat abnormal gain kat situ, tiba-tiba. Abnormal gain. So itu adalah contoh dia. Ni adalah illustration, tapi saya rasa ni tak ada masalah sangat. Saya cuma nak highlight yang ni. Okay, jadi sudah cerita. Kalau ya, ni kedai kek, you beli material you 5,000 kg satu bulan. Normal loss dia 10%. So 5,000 kg tu normal loss. Okay, cost incurred 40,500. Expected output dia 4,500 lah. So 5,000 tu 4,000. 5,000 tu 500, dapat 4,500. Kalau tiba-tiba daripada 4,500 tu, you bagus. So you keluarkan produk you, you guna RM4,650. Kat situ ada abnormal gain ya. Dah lah you use normal loss kat situ 10%. Tiba-tiba you produce better. So you ada abnormal gain kat situ 150 kg. Okay. Kalau you keluarkan 4,400, kat situ ada abnormal loss 100. Sebab biasanya you akan keluarkan 4,500, tetapi kali ni you keluarkan 4,400. So ada abnormal loss 100 kg. So and then you kalilah dengan semua-semua ni. Dekat sini dia kata cost per unit untuk 4650 ni RM8.71. Ni semua cost per unit. 40,000 40,500 you divide by 4.4k, you dapat RM9.20. 20 sen. So same goes yang ni lah, normal loss expected output dia, actual output 4,600, you abnormal gain berapa, abnormal loss berapa, cost per unit dia berapa. Okay, settle. Ini tutorial, saya nak you simpan, nanti masa tutorial you akan jawab macam mana dia benda ni you boleh dapat. That's all for today. Ada soalan tak? Flashcard ni kita tak buat, mungkin masa kita tutorial nanti kita buat. Any question before kita end kita punya kelas today? Okay, tak ada ya? So with that, kita end our class today. Assalamualaikum. Nanti kita akan jumpa next week, Monday untuk tutorial. Next week, Monday untuk tutorial chapter yang ini. Okay, see you then. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye. You are welcome. Thank you all.